Excellent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another presentation for e-estate, tokenized real estate. It's a very exciting business, and if you're interested in real estate, or if you've just heard that you can make a lot of money in real estate, then just give me your undivided attention for the next 6 or 7 hours, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot. That was a joke, of course. I'll get it down to 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes, and by that stage, you will know everything that I know. And yeah, so let's get on with it. I'm going to start off with a couple of videos, then I'm going to go into explaining some stuff about who e-estate are and what we do, what tokenized property is, and how it can affect you and your wealth building efforts to create a large and ongoing income and add to your growing portfolio of assets. I think you'll like it. So let's do a quick screen share, and I'm going to share with you a couple of quick videos that I like. I'm going to share sound, I'm going to optimize for video, and we're going to go over to this screen. I'm going to go into the e-estate back office. And I'm going to play one of my favorite videos, which is this one. It'll take about 3 minutes or so.
The future of real estate investment starts here. The real estate market is long overdue for change. High entry costs, low liquidity, bureaucracy, and hidden fees have made traditional property investment complex and inaccessible. E-estate is redefining the industry. Through EST, Estate Token, we enable seamless property ownership, investment, and income generation. Real assets are tokenized on the Binance Smart Chain, ensuring full transparency, security, and a stable source of income. Every asset undergoes AI-driven analysis, legal verification, and expert evaluation, guaranteeing capital protection. E-estate is not just a platform, it's the new standard in real estate investment. Benefits for buyers. Imagine having the flexibility to invest in real estate while earning consistent returns without the hassle of traditional ownership. With EST tokens, this vision is now a reality. For as little as $117, you can enter the digital real estate market and enjoy legally backed property ownership, blockchain-secured transactions for full transparency, lifetime passive income from rental profits, global access without geographic restrictions. Estate Token, a new era of real estate. We are revolutionizing traditional assets by transforming them into EST tokens. Each token is a digital representation of physical real estate, with its value tied to tangible assets. EST introduces an innovative two-phase income model. 1. The active phase, first 18 months. Enhanced daily returns of 0.41% to 1%, providing a powerful opportunity to accelerate your capital growth. 2. The passive phase. Lifetime earnings of 10% annually, paid out every 6 months. The more you invest, the higher your buyer status, unlocking premium properties and exclusive privileges. Digital real estate offers real financial growth without the limitations of the traditional market. Benefits for real estate agents. E-estate introduces a groundbreaking approach to the real estate business. Agents can earn commissions on transactions, build client networks, and generate passive income. How agents earn. Deal commission, instant commissions from every transaction across 8 levels. Profit commission, passive earnings from clients' rental properties across 5 levels. Agent bonus, additional rewards for sales milestones and career growth up to 10 levels. E-token, ETK, digital incentives for task completion and rank progression. Additional earning opportunities. Money wheel, spin for 100 ETK and win between $1 to $1,000 per spin. E-Wallet, a secure, instant payout system for managing your funds. The future of digital real estate. Every transaction on eEstate is backed by legal contracts and blockchain-based smart contracts on the Binance Smart Chain, ensuring secure and tamper-proof deals. Strategically headquartered in Panama, eEstate operates in a tax-friendly jurisdiction, ensuring full legal compliance and zero taxation on international earnings. Join the digital real estate revolution and start earning today.
Excellent. So that's one of my favorite videos to give you a real flavor of what eEstate is all about. And in fact, very often when I watch that video at the beginning of one of these presentations, I think, well, you now know everything. What do I need to talk on for the next 26 minutes? But I am going to share one other video with you, and this is one of my favorite subjects, if you like, because I have a background in real estate, and people often ask me about why real estate as opposed to shares or cryptocurrency holdings and all these other things. But this is something that I just want you to understand about the power of real estate earning. And of course, your investments, your properties with eEstate will benefit from this. So just pay attention to this for, I think it's about a minute long.
Shares versus property, what makes more money? Welcome back to another property on paper. So if you've vested shares, your money might go up by about 10%. If it's property, let's call it 5%. Let's say you've got 100k and you put it into shares. Over 10 years, what is that 100k going to be worth? It's going to be about 260k. Let's take that same 100k, but now it's a deposit for an investment property or one you want to own yourself. This time you're going to take out a bank loan and buy a property worth 500k. Over 10 years, what's it going to be worth? All of a sudden, 813k. So if we put our 100k into shares, we made 160k. If we put our money into property, we made 313k. Now, there are differences in risks. So if you want to learn more, listen to the
Okay, so that's one of the reasons I love real estate. It's one of the reasons I got involved in real estate is because your money is much more secure and it's got much more earning power, earning capability than even the best shares portfolio, stocks, bonds, even most crypto assets won't give you the sort of returns that real estate will. And also, these other things can go. There's boom and bust cycles in markets. There's a little bit in real estate, but for real estate, real estate is not going to go to zero. You're not going to lose a significant amount of investment. And of course, the thing with real estate is you would only lose money if you must sell at that point. If you hold on to your investment long enough, you will definitely make money. So I just want to start the presentation really by saying that don't take anything I say tonight as advice, financial advice, investment advice. None of that is not advice. I'm just giving you some information about eEstate. Also, I don't work for the company. I'm the same as you guys. I'm an agent and I'm a buyer. And I came across eEstates a little while ago. I knew what I was looking at because I know a lot about real estate. And so I knew that this was a good deal pretty much as soon as I looked at it. So I'm going to go through some stuff in the back office of the eEstate website. When you first register, you need to go through a few things, and you end up when you log in for the first time, you end up on your dashboard. And so this is your dashboard. This dashboard is basically a collection of all of the different information on all the other pages within your back office. So here's some information about real estates, and you can flick through the different real estates and so on. This is some information about your e-wallet, your assets, how much you're making per day. Each of these spokes represents a day, and it gives you the date in the middle and how much you made that day. What your profit balance is right now. You can look at your position as an agent, your achievements, your rewards earned, and your money wheel position, your knowledge base, and a few other things about your account settings. So that's just like bringing a few other pages together as a snapshot here. The menu at the top, you have a sub menu for buyer, one for agent, one for rewards, and one for info hub. So let's just look very quickly at the buyer. you have an e-wallet and you can keep track of how much money you've made in your e-wallet. So you earn your money in EST tokens from your properties, and then it's a very simple case then to convert that into dollars to go into your e-wallet. And I think I've got some dollars, sorry, some EST to convert, and I'll do that for you on this call so that you'll see it. So this tells you what your wallet balance is. Every time I get to $117, I buy another property. So you'll never see me have very much money in here. And a little while ago, you can see here every single day, you can see what happened in my wallet, in my e-wallet. On this particular day, I decided to withdraw $102. The person who introduced me to e-estate is somebody you may know. It's the CEO of the company, and he suggested that I withdraw some money, so make a video of it so that I can show people, look, this is how to withdraw. And I did, and it's been very well received. That video is available on YouTube. So just search for my name on YouTube and you'll see one of these videos. So this is a list of all the different recent operations. You can see I get bonuses and I get my withdrawal listed there. I could just click on that and have a look at every single thing I've done since I've been involved in e-estate. At the bottom here, there's a couple of properties just to bring to your attention. There was a bit of spare space on the site and they wanted us to just have our eye on these two. These are particularly good deals for everyone. On the right-hand side, the wallet transfer, you can send money from your e-wallet to somebody else you know. Very simple, you just put their email address in, how much you want to transfer. So I might transfer $50. And they're going to receive $49.50 because there's a 1% fee there, which is 50 cents. Put in your secret code. Again, I just keep hold of that secret code when it's sent to you because you need it for pretty much everything you do, buying a property, withdrawing your money, transferring your money, and so on. So yeah, just keep it safe. Don't share it around either, because if somebody does hack your account and they get that, they can't withdraw anything unless they have that number. So it's an important thing. Also, in your e-wallet here, you can deposit or you can withdraw, and you can deposit in one of a number of different crypto coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, even official Trump Sol, if you want to. So any one of a number of coins, okay, and put in here how much you want to deposit, maybe $5,000 or I don't know, 5,000 Doge. Okay, and confirm, and then it'll take you to a page where it'll give you the wallet address to send your money, and you do that and it appears in your e-wallet. Now, the reason you might want to put money into your e-wallet is you can buy lots of different properties. So if you're going to buy several different properties all in one go, then send your money into your e-wallet. Because then when you're going through the process to buy the properties, you don't have to keep depositing different amounts of money. You can just pay from your e-wallet, and you'll see that in a minute. However, if you're only intending to buy one property, then you don't need to put money into your e-wallet. I'll show you a quicker and easier way. So that's the e-wallet. When we go into real estate, this is a list of all the different types of real estate that you have available to buy. When you first register, you are a buyer level 1. And we have all of these properties available to us in buyer level 1. We have apartments, MIA. We have apartments in general. We have houses. We have villas. We have tourism, although that's sold out right now, but I'm sure there'll be some more on this tab fairly soon. And there's commerce. So you can invest in business if you want to. Then when you get to buyer level 2, you can't invest in those until you are buyer level 2, and so on for 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so you can select any of these apartments at your buyer level or below and invest in them. Another way of selecting the different properties is through this drop-down list on the side here. So this panel is where we're actually going to buy a property. So let's suppose we wanted to buy an apartment. The minimum is 117, but we might say, well, I'm actually going to buy $1,000 worth. Then it tells me I'm going to earn 5 $5.10 per day, $107 per month, $1,275 per year, and I'm going to get my $1,000 back in this property. I'm going to get it back within 9 months. Now, I love this calculator because it's totally upfront, clear, unambiguous. You know exactly how much money you're going to get back. But what you'll notice is when we go up to houses, for example, the minimum is 480. But if I could easily, just as easily, put in my whole $5,000 there, and my break-even point here now is 8 months. And if I go to villas, the minimum is 3,120, but I could still put my $5,000 in there if I want to. Now my break-even is 7 months. And if I go to a tourism, now they're not available now because they're sold out, but the minimum now is above my 5,000, so I'd have to deposit more money. But my break-even there is only 6 months. So I'm going to receive $11,000 per year. Okay, I'm going to receive that for 6 months. In fact, sorry, that's rubbish. I'm going to receive that for 18 months. So after 6 months, I've got my $6,740 back. In the second 6 months, I've made another $6,740. And in the third 6 months, I've made another $6,740. So I've trebled or tripled my investment amount. Okay, then it goes into the passive phase, which is 10% per year, which in this case would be $674 per year. But what I would do in this case is I would take that, I'd take back my $6,740 and I would buy another another tourism property, because the following 6 months I would get back 2 lots. I've now got 2 properties and I get back 2 lots, so I buy 2 more properties. Now you haven't got to do that. This isn't advice. This is just my strategy, if you like. You do what you want. It's your money. But I'm seeing this as something where I can use this system to put some money in and grow and grow and grow and buy more and more properties, because what I want to do eventually is to drop all of these properties into this 10% ongoing income, because you have enough properties in that 10% residual income, that passive income, that royalty-based income, and it just pays you for years and years and years with no effort at all. And that's what I'm looking for, is that long-term income that's just gonna grow every time I buy a new property, add it to the pile, it grows and grows and grows. So that's what I'm after. Now, again, you can go to commerce, and commerce, to get into it is more money again, but again you break even in 6 months, and business you break even in 6 months. Land plots, even more lucrative, you break even in 5 months. So you're making $103,000 a year for the first 18 months, and then you're going to receive $5,131 per year for the rest of the life of that property. Okay, so I'm sure you understand about the profit calculator. So let me show you how this works. Let's suppose I'm going to buy an apartment in Miami. The minimum cost is $10. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy a property. I can also change the value here. Now here is where I would select, if I've got the money in my e-wallet, that's how I would select it. So if I was going to buy lots of different properties, I would have my money in my e-wallet and I'd take this $10 from there. I'd take another $300 for another property and so on, all out of my e-wallet. So I've only made one deposit. However, if I'm just buying one property, I wouldn't do a two-step system where I put the money into my e-wallet and then come here and take it out of my e-wallet. I would just quite simply come here and I would pay with my USDT TRC20, because I've got some of that. You might want to come here and pay with your BEP20 or your Bitcoin. Okay, you can come here and pay with Ripple if you wanted to. And in one simple move, you're depositing your Ripple straight into this deal and purchasing the property. Now down the bottom here, you can enable auto capitalization or not. And there's benefits to both. So if you auto capitalize, what it means is that the daily profit goes back into this property, and at the end of the 18 months of the active phase, you own more than the $10 that you set out with. So in this case, you set out with $10, you're going to earn $10.50 per year, which means that by the time this goes into the passive phase, your stake in this property is $25, not $10. So you started with $10, but now you've got $25 going into that active passive phase. However, if you don't enable auto capitalization, that profit every day goes into, you get paid it in EST, and you can then put that into your e-wallet, and you can withdraw it, you can spend it, you can use it, you can still use it to buy more properties if you want to. But the very good thing about withdrawing some of this money is that when you're showing people around your back office and showing them how good e-estate is all very well. And I made this mistake myself. The first 3 properties I bought, I switched on the auto capitalization, and I was talking to somebody and I said, so I'm earning money on this auto capitalization. They said, well, where is the money? I said, well, look, those figures there, that's that's how much I'm making. And they said, well, where is it? Can you withdraw it? And I had to explain about auto capitalization. I said, oh, wouldn't it be good if you could withdraw it? So I thought that is a good point. If I'm going to show people around my back office, then it makes sense to be able to show them money I've withdrawn, which I showed you just now, and the fact that I'm receiving money in my e-wallet. So I do every other one I put, every other property I buy, I enable auto capitalization, and every other one I don't. I get the money paid to me. So then what we do is we click on the Pay Now button. Then I have to go and sign a contract. So it comes up on the screen. I move it to my screen where I've got this touch screen thing, and I get my magic pen, sign it, click the button, and job done. So you actually have a legal contract saying that you own this share of this property. So you can see these are the different profitabilities for this particular property over the last 7 days. Okay, sorry, it's not strictly 7 days. It's the last 7 business days, last 7 working days. If you want to become an agent, then just click here, and there's a process to go through to become an agent. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I can't really show you that because I'm already an agent, so it won't let me show you too much. But if I want to now look at my assets, just the properties that I have, okay, I come on to my assets page again, got that from the menu there. And you can see here, I have $19.25 earned from one of my properties earlier that I haven't done anything with, and I'm going to put that into my e-wallet. So I'm going to select all, enter my magic pin, withdraw to e-wallet, done. So that's now joined a queue. Somebody's going to process that in the next hour or so. That will appear in my e-wallet, and I should have then enough money to come back in and buy another $117 apartment. And this, it'll reflect in this chart as well. So this is a list of my assets, my tokenized real estate, and you can look at all the earnings I've ever made from this apartment by clicking there. So you can see I'm earning consistently every single day. You can check all that on the blockchain, the Binance BSC scan page, which every transaction in the whole business is available on the blockchain. And it's pointless me pushing this button, but it will come up with a PDF version of that contract that I signed. It will give me all the details of the property, my legal responsibilities, the company's legal responsibilities, and basically just proof that I own part of that property, including my signature and the company's signature. So down the side here, there's a different set of information. This is all about stuff that's happened in my buyer account. And I could click down here, all operations. So this one here is the profit that I made that I've just sent to my e-wallet. Again, there's shortcuts here to the knowledge base, the real estate, and the money wheel. So that's the buyer menu. The agent menu, I'm not going to go through the agent panel or my clients because that's got some private information on. But when you become an agent, you have to work your way through. So first you request to become an agent, then you work through a checklist, put all sorts of information in that's needed. Then you sign a contract to say that you'll be ethical and moral about the whole thing. You won't try to do anything unethical or immoral or illegal, dare I say. And then what you need to do is commit to paying $9 a month or $90 a year. You can set that up so that it comes automatically from your e-wallet, which most people do. And when you have that, then you get a referral link. So if we go into my agent panel, there's my referral link, personal landing page. It also tells me here that I've achieved 100% of level 1, 100% of level 2, 52% of level 3, 21% of level 4, and so on. So as you work your way up through these levels, you have this is the levels that the bonuses apply to you. There's you see you earn more bonuses the further up the levels you go. You can see here I've got my auto renewal switched on, auto renewal enabled. So that'll be paid in a couple of days' time on the Day of the Dead, 2nd of November. Okay, so I'm not going to go into any more than that. Like I say, there's if we start looking further down the page, there's information there about clients and so on. So I'm not going to show that. And similarly, my clients is basically all about my clients, so I'm not going to show that. The landing page, very, very interesting. If you look down the right-hand side here, you've got a landing page preview. And you can copy the link to your landing page, the same as we did from the agent page. You can also preview the landing page. The landing page, your landing page will look like that if you don't change what they've provided for you initially. It tells the people you introduce or the people you send to your landing page, it'll tell them what level you're at, how many deals have been done, what your sales figures are, and so on. Of course, over time, these will all increase. And this blurb here about who you are and so on. And there's your referral link again. But because this is your landing page, people can go here and look at everything to do with e-estate, what tokenization is, what a buyer is, agents, help center, and so on. If they click anything to become an agent or to become a buyer, there's Brandon, a friend. If you click any of these buttons to become a buyer or an agent, or if your friends do, when they're looking at your landing page, then they register, they take to a page where they can register as one of your clients. And what I recommend people do is become an agent first. Okay, I know we all want to get into this and buy properties, which is great, but become an agent first, because you then earn money based on your own purchases of property. Your purchases count towards your commissions and so on. Okay, so become an agent first, then start buying your properties and encourage your people to do the same. Then we can look at rewards, and on achievements here, you work your way through your level 1 achievements, and every achievement you master, then you get rewarded with certain things. In this case, there's lots of ETK, and you'll see how we enjoy the ETK in a while. Okay, but is really just to encourage you to work your way up through to do all these things in level 1, and then work your way up through all these other things to level 2 and level 3, 4, 5, and so on. Because that's your career progression, if you like, within e-estate. And apparently I'm better than 84% of users. So yeah, I like that. Again, a list of operations to do with my client achievement. Sorry, my agent achievements. Then the fun one is the money wheel. And when you do certain things, you get rewarded with ETK coins, which is basically just our own internal coin, and is really only used for this money wheel. Now, every day when you come into this website, okay, you receive a daily reward. At the moment, I've got day 3 available, so I can claim 3E to be added to my total of 323. So when I click collect, it's now 326, and day 3 is no longer available. Tomorrow I'll come back and I'll get 4. So every week, sorry, every 7 days, you can earn 31 ETK, as well as all the other things you do. And then you come here, click spin now. It costs 100 ETK to spin the wheel once. Now, I don't do this. I let my wife do this because she loves it. And in fairness, I've been rubbish at it. She's earned far, far more than me by spinning this wheel. I get 50 cents on a dollar most of the time, and she's up here the $4, $5, $10. So I always let her do that. It also keeps her involved in some of the things I'm doing, which is always good. So that's the rewards. And the info hub, you have a help center, which if you click on that, it will take you to a Telegram page, and you can Once you have that access to that Telegram page, of course, you can go there directly without going through the help center and send a message to support. They will respond very, very quickly. Okay, you've not known them not respond within an hour or two. Sometimes the response comes back immediately. So it must be just sat there waiting for my information. Okay, so that's really, really good. The knowledge base, there's a lot of information in here. This is FAQs. You can see at the top there, the big green button is FAQs. And then we have FAQs for general and for buyers and for agents. Okay, so you get familiar with all of that. There's a lot of information, not a massive amount, to be honest. If you were reading this, it's probably 3 sides of A4. So, you know, not a, well, 4 sides of letter size maybe, but it's not huge. Here now there is some documentation. I don't know if you saw that underneath this side here. There's documentation. Excuse me. And you want to check out all the legal side of the business. Okay, there's the legality here, the registration certificate, the legal entity identifier certificate, partnership certificate with a ARDR, contracts and financial report, agent employment contract. When you become an agent, I think that you sign a contract. Okay, so you can see what it is there. You've also got your own copy of that, an investment contract. So all of that's like the legal stuff. Presentations, there's a buyer presentation, there's an agent presentation, there's an agent charter, a code of conduct, and an agent's guidebook. So all useful information. You can join up on any of these platforms. The one I like is Telegram, but of course you may like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Discord. And you can get information about e-estate in any of those platforms that you like. What I would say though is join one of them and check it every day, because there's so much stuff that changes, or there's so much information to be had every single day. And then there's the Video Hub, which is where I found this video. It's available in a number of different languages. And that's where I found this video. I like the English one. So that's kind of the walk through the back office. And that's kind of how you run your business. I come into this website. Oh, my e-wallet is updated already. So now I've got to wait till my profits tomorrow to be able to buy that next property. No doubt I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm in this website maybe 2 or 3 times a day, talking people through it, checking things out myself, updating myself on some information. People ask me questions I don't know. I come in here and check it out. I don't mind sending a message to somebody saying, I've been asked this question, what's the answer? But what I'd rather do is go and find it out myself, because if I'm looking for one piece of information, I generally find 6 or 7 other things that I didn't know. And then when those questions come up, I've got the information right away. Okay, so Bundle's raised his hand for a question. I will just finish my presentation, Bundle, and then I'll get to you. So the other things I was going to talk through with you, and we're out of time completely, is in the knowledge base. So let's go back to the knowledge base here. If I have somebody who wants to be a buyer, I just come here and open up this buyer presentation, just like this, and I just talk them through it. What is it? There's 4 things. There's tokenized ownership, blockchain, power transactions, global reach, data-driven. Again, this, if you get your head around some of this stuff, you'll see what a really powerful system this is, because you don't have to have tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of money to get involved in real estate. In fact, I'm going to switch this share off. I'm going to come back to the main room. Okay, guys. So I mentioned earlier that I have my own real estate business, and let me just tell you a little bit of comparison between the two. One is a traditional real estate business. When I got started, I spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort developing my contacts. I went out to my first real estate type business, for my own property portfolio, was a property sourcing business. So I would spend all my time going out talking to local estate agents or estate agents in any of the towns I was targeting for 50 or 100 miles around. So that's a lot of estate agents, real estate agents you call them in the States and Canada. Um, I would also be talking to developers, I'd be talking to architects, I'd be talking to mortgage advisors, just anybody who might know anybody who either wants to buy or invest in a rental property, or somebody who might have some properties that we could turn into rental properties. So I was playing both ends of the system. And I needed clients and I needed properties to give to those clients. And I spent literally several months, maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months out on the road, driving all over the place, making all these contacts, getting all this information, go to look at developments, go to meet clients or potential clients and so on. That was before I could ever do anything, before I could ever introduce a client to a property and get it off the ground. And then half the time when you do introduce a property, the people haven't got the funds, they can't get the buy-to-let mortgage or the rental mortgage. So, the whole thing, it wasn't cut and dried. You could do a lot of work, a lot of time and effort, a lot of money before you ever before you ever get your business off the ground. With this, I signed up, filled in a few questions, deposited some money, and I bought my first property in about 15 minutes. Now, when I want to buy a property, it takes me about 2 minutes to get involved in a property. And the profit that I was making from this other business, this real world business, was not negligible, but it was about half of what I make from these properties online. So I have none of the hassle. Now, if I wanted to expand my traditional real estate business into other countries, the nightmare of doing that, the logistics, all the compliance issues, the all the rules and regulations are different in every single country. I would have to learn all of that, know all of that, develop new contacts, new solicitors or attorneys, develop new contacts for the developers, develop new clients that are interested in that marketplace. The whole thing was so ridiculous. I didn't even consider that I had that business for several years and I never even considered expanding abroad. With this, I don't know. I can push one button, I buy I buy a villa in Florida, push another button, I buy a luxury apartment in Dubai. So it's just completely different, yet you get the same rewards. And to start with, I was a little reluctant because I was thinking, well, I love the idea of letting people know, there I am at cocktail parties. People say, what do you do? I say, I own properties all over this, small area in the UK, like, 100 miles end to end, and I something, I've got some properties. And so I couldn't do that with this. So, but I had to realize that's not where you make the money. Your ego doesn't make you any money. What makes you money is having properties out there working for you, and these properties really work for you. And somebody else has done all the legwork. All I've done is pushed a few buttons, put a bit of money in, and the money comes rolling back to me for months and months and years and years. So if you're interested, if you're already involved in real estate, give this some serious consideration because it's all of the benefits with none of the hassle, literally none of the hassle. Um, you don't have to worry about tenants. You don't have to worry about block toilets. You don't have to worry about the government changing the regulations on you, which they do with great regularity. None of that hassle. That all just goes away. If you're not involved in real estate at the moment, you're just looking for a way of making some money online, I'd recommend this to you. You can be given all sorts of promises about all sorts of other things out there. And many of you know the things that you're offered are not real. A lot of them, and when I say a lot of them, I've looked at 250 different online businesses in the last 2 years, and I've only gotten involved in about 9 of them. The rest are absolute rubbish, as in there's no business behind them. And even the ones that I did look at, there was a real business, but they didn't know how to run it. They had a good idea. They thought they could make some money, help me make some money. Turns out they didn't know what they were doing. So of all of those businesses, only 5 of them really have come good. Whereas with real estate, if you do it right, and Eli Property, the people that look after the real estate for us, they've been around for about, sorry, I should know this, it's something like 40 years. I should have remembered from their bio, but it's a long, long time. They know what they're doing. They take all of that hassle away from us, and they just use our money to tokenize and develop these properties and give us back our fair share of the profits. And it's a great, great system. So I'd recommend it to you if it's something you're vaguely interested in, or if it's something, if real estate is something you've got a passion for. So with that, that's the end of my presentation, and I've gone over time by about 10 minutes, for which I apologize. But if anybody does have any questions, what I'll do is I'll switch off the recording now, and I will stay on for a question and answer session if you want me to. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and attention this evening, or whatever time of the day it is for you, obviously. And if you are watching this by video, thank you for making it to the end.